Hey guys, so for today we're going to continue working on our trade for subtraction. Remember, we worked yesterday on solving numbers that involved two-digit numbers, and today we're going to add that three-digit number, so subtracting to the hundreds. For your assignments, you will have the home link to do, you have a brain pop page to do, and then you're going to continue working on IXL H6. So our goal for today is I can solve subtraction problems that require regrouping. You're going to turn in your book to page 189. You need to go there now. And remember, we're going to go through some steps to help us to solve these problems, well, any subtraction problem. So the first step is to circle the bigger number in the ones place. So we're going to look at the ones place and see which is bigger. Then we ask ourselves, is the bigger number on the bottom? If it is on the bottom, then you go next door. If it's not on the bottom and it's on top, then you can just subtract. You don't need to trade. So if it is on the bottom and we go next door, we're going to get 10 more. So we have to adjust our numbers by taking 110 away and adding that 10 to the ones place. Once we have adjusted our numbers, then we can subtract. So we're going to look at problem number 1. And the first thing that it says is to estimate. So I'm going to go ahead and write out my estimate of 230. 231 is close to 230 minus 170. 174 is close to 170. So I am going to look at subtracting this, and this will be our first look at subtracting when we have three-digit numbers. I can subtract 0 minus 0, but when I get to this number, I'm going to circle the bigger number. It's in the bottom, so I have to take one of the hundreds away. Now there are 10 tens to make 100. So we're going to be left with 100, and then I'm going to have 13 tens because I had 3 and then I'm going to add 10 more. So 13 minus 7 is 6. So my estimate is 230 minus 170 is 60. Now that I know my estimate, I can go in and I can do my subtracting. So my first step is to circle the bigger number in the ones. The 4 is the bigger number, and it is in the bottom, so I'm going to go next door and get 10 more. I have 3 tens here, but I'm going to take one of those tens, and it's going to leave me with 2, and I'm going to add the tens to the ones place, so I have 11. 11 minus 4 is 7. And then I'm going to look at my tens place, and I can't subtract. I'm going to circle the bigger number in the bottom, and I need to go to the hundreds to get 10 tens to make 100. So I'll be left with 1. And then I no longer have 2 tens, but I have 12 tens. 12 minus 7 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. So my answer of 57 is close to 60. I know my answer is reasonable because my estimate and my answer are close. All right, let's look at number 2 on this page. I'm going to do my estimate of 410. 406 is close to 410 minus 390. Again, I'm going to write my numbers vertical. It helps me to write them vertical because then I'm not going to be messing up my place value. 0 minus 0 is 0. Circle the number, the bigger number. 9 is in the bottom, so I'm going to have to go to the hundreds place and take 100. It's going to leave me with 3. There's 10 tens in 100, so I'm going to add 10 to my already 110. And then I'm going to subtract 11 minus 9 is 20. So my answer, 310 minus 390 is 20. I'm going to subtract by going to the ones place. Now, this is where we have to do a little bit more, and we are going to have to jump a little bit further to get our trading done. So 9 is in the bottom, but when I look over here, I have 0 tens. Well, if I have 0, I can't take one of those away, so I need to get some. I'm going to go all the way to the hundreds, and remember, there are 10 tens and 100, so I'm going to take one of the hundreds away, and now this becomes 10 tens. Now that I can go back to the 9 and trade, I'm going to take one of these tens and make it into 9, and I'm going to add my 10 ones to the 6 to make 16. Now I can subtract. 16 minus 9 is 7. 9 minus 8 is 1. 17 is close to 20. Does it make sense? Yes, because my estimate and my actual answer are similar. This is in your book on page 190. And I can look at this and I can see they would have circled the 8. And they did it a little bit different. They started in the hundreds. We can do 2 minus 1, but we would circle the 8, and I can't do that. So I would go to the 2, take one of those away. That's a 10 tens, which would make 11. And then I need to check my ones column. 8 is in the bottom, so I have to borrow 1, and it leaves me with 10. Add tens to the ones to make 17. 17 minus 8 is 9. 10 minus 8 is 2. So let's do one together. Estimating 83 is close to 80. Minus 46 is close to 50. 80 minus 50 is 30. So let's check our work. I don't have any hundreds, so I'm just going to look at my ones place. 6 is in the bottom, so I'm going to have to go next door and get 10 more. 10 tens, 110 is 10 ones, so I'm going to have to add it to the 3 to make 13. When I subtract, my answer is 37. It is reasonable. It's close to my estimate of 30. All right, number 2. My estimate for 125 is going to be 130 minus 65 is close to 70. I can subtract it. I can do 0 minus 0, but I cannot do 3 minus 7. So I'm going to take the 100 and split it into tens. It's going to leave me with 10 plus 3 is 13. 13 plus 7 is 6. 13 minus 7 is 6. So 130 minus 70 equals 60. Let's try this. So we haven't had one of these. They're the same number, so there is no bigger one. It's going to be 0. When I go to the middle column, circle the bigger number. 6 is in the bottom, so I have to go next door and get 10 more. So there are 10 tens and 100. I'm going to take those tens and add it to the 2 I already have to make 12. 12 minus 6 is 60. Well, it definitely makes sense because my answer and my estimate are the same. Number 3, my estimate, I'm already going to use 410 minus 286 is close to 290. I can do 0 minus 0. 9 is in the bottom, so I'm going to go next door and get 10 more. 10 tens is 100. So I'm going to add those tens to my 1 to make 11. 11 minus 9 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. My estimate is 120. All right, looking at this one, 6 is in the bottom, so I'm going to go next door. It's going to leave me with 0, and I'm going to add my 10 here. I can do 10 minus 6, and that equals 4. When I go to the next one, I'm circling the bigger number. It's in the bottom, so I have to go next door. I'm going to take 100, and it's going to leave me with 3. And then I have to add my tens to the tens column. So I don't have 0 anymore. I have 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. 124 is close to my estimate, so I know that one makes sense. And that is all on that page. I want to say, way to go, Adrian, Andreas, Nora, and Paula. Out of the 29 kids in the class, you four are the only ones that actually worked on H6 and mastered it yesterday. So keep up the good work. You guys are awesome. You're doing a great job. For the rest of you, since you didn't do it yesterday, you need to do the IXL today. You need to log into your Perry account, and you're going to work on the second grade skills. I had somebody ask me yesterday how to get there, and I will show you in just a second. This is your brain pop activity that you're doing. It's just a subtraction. So like let's go with this one, 10 minus 1. We know that's 9. So anytime there's a number 9, it is you. So I'm looking down here at the bottom, 9 is you right here. So you will go through, get the answers, and then fill in the question at the bottom. And the question is, how do you become a squirrel's friend? All right, let's look at IXL. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me to show you this because my IXL looks different, but I do want to show you this. When I sign in to my name, I don't think you have this learning, but you do have this spot where you can pick math, language arts. If you are on the math page, you can look for second grade right here. You click on it. Sometimes you might just get to this page, but it'll be third grade. So you're going to want to click over on the left side to make sure you're in second grade. Once you're in second grade, you're going to H6, which is right here.